Flair coming.
You don't bring a maniac like that on the same show as the world champion. If he can't wrestle by the rules, then I'm not staying around.
Well, Ric Flair letting everyone know his opinion of Dick the Bruiser, calling him a maniac. Well, the Bruiser has that in him. The blood runs hot in Dick the Bruiser, especially since that night when he and Flair squared off for the world title. Tags made. Well, if he's a maniac, Flair's going to have to greet him right now. The Bruiser steps back and says, "Come on in." Listen to that crowd roar. The man who has the gold belt and the man who many people think should have the gold belt. The crowd chanting, "Bruiser! Bruiser!" Listen to him. The uncrowned world champion backing Flair toward the corner. Flair cautious. Just think what it'll be like when they square off the best of three falls, the gold belt on the line. Flair turns the Bruiser around. Ric Flair pounds on the Bruiser, clouding him. The Bruiser fights back. The Bruiser and Flair, toe-to-toe. The Bruiser and Ric Flair. The Bruiser gets the best of him. Flair hits the ropes, comes charging off with a forearm. The Bruiser stands there like the arch. Flair tried to knock the Bruiser over and couldn't do it. The Bruiser slams Flair into the turnbuckle. The Bruiser rakes his boot across the head of Ric Flair. The Bruiser slams Flair head first into the mat. The Bruiser pulls back on the nose. Twists the nose of Flair. I wonder if the ladies will like him as much as that nose is sticking at about a 90-degree angle sideways. The Bruiser slams Flair into the corner again. Oh, Flair lashed out to the face of the Bruiser. A chop to the throat. Another chop to the chest by Ric Flair, the world champion. 4 slashes to the Bruiser. The Bruiser just flexes up. This man is as close to indestructible as they come. The crowd begins that chant again. The Bruiser standing there taking the punishment. It's hurting him, but he can take it. He's been through every war there's ever been.
5 minutes have expired, 15 minutes left.
The Bruiser pounds on the world champion. Dick the Bruiser again with a punch to Flair. Flair looking for a tag and he's in the wrong corner. The Bruiser digs in with that nerve clamp. When they met before, the gold belt on the line, the referee, Sonny Myers, was accidentally floored. While he was down, the Bruiser put Flair's shoulders on the mat. Myers didn't see it. And Flair had to be down there a good 8 or 9 seconds. Had the referee seen it, had he fallen in a different position, Dick the Bruiser could be the world champion right now. Myers regained his feet. The Bruiser thought he'd won the match. He lifted. He and Flair collided head on when Flair came firing off the ropes. And as the two men fell, simply a stroke of luck, a fluke, Flair fell across the shoulders of the Bruiser, and you could hear Flair as he leveled Bob Brown. Flair won the match. There was pandemonium. There was controversy. And everybody in the wrestling world, you can remember Gene Kiniski and Dewey Robertson both saying the same thing here on Wrestling at the Chase, that they felt that Dick the Bruiser was the uncrowned world champion. Jerry Brown off the ropes with a knee drop to Bulldog Brown. He covers him. Count of 1, count of 2, and Bulldog throws Jerry off. That has been eating at Flair, eating at him for a couple of months now, knowing that someday, somewhere, that showdown with the Bruiser had to come. No matter what happened to the Bruiser in between, it had to come. Flair and the Bruiser. And now that moment is drawing close to the best of 3 falls. The uncrowned world champion against the man who truly does have possession of that gold belt. And I guess this tag match today, put together specially by matchmaker Pat O'Connor because it is the anniversary edition of Wrestling at the Chase, and it wasn't easy to do. Flair was very reluctant to take part in this match, and you heard him say it right here when he came over early in the bout. But the stature of St. Louis, the stature that Sam Muchnick built over all those years, the stature of Wrestling at the Chase as the top-rated program, wrestling program in the country, in the world, well, that's what turned the tide, and that's why Flair agreed to take part in this tag bout today. So you know Flair is looking for the Bruiser. And it goes without saying who the Bruiser is looking for. Jerry Brown, backflip on Bulldog. Oh, high into the air. Jerry misses with the knee drop. It worked once before, but it missed that time. Arm drag by Bulldog Brown on Jerry Brown. The Bruiser applauds. Way to go, says the Bruiser to Bulldog Brown. Boy, there's two of a kind. The Bruiser and the Bulldog.
I'll tell you that.
Brown twisting the wrist of Jerry Brown. It's hard when the two Browns are in there. Bulldog and Jerry, no relation, obviously. Bulldog Brown leaning into that wrist, bending it backwards. Subtle pressure, and that sometimes is the worst. Jerry Brown dove for the world champion and missed connections. Ric Flair says something to Bulldog Brown. Don't take anything away from Ric Flair. He is underrated as far as I am concerned as a scientific wrestler. He's underrated, period. A lot of guys, a lot of people look at that pretty boy image, the fancy robes, the Lear jets, the women he runs around with. Well, that's all well and good. But they overlook the fact that he got to be the world champion by beating the best on the face of the globe. And he is underrated as a scientific wrestler. His fundamentals are impeccable, perfect. Don't forget, he was a collegiate wrestler at the University of Minnesota. Flair is the champion because he deserves to be, although there would be some question as far as Dick the Bruiser is concerned, because on that night, except for a few flukes, had a referee fallen in a different position, the gold belt could today belong to Dick the Bruiser. And maybe what's coming up would be the rematch for the World Championship. The rematch with the Bruiser in command of the throne. Ric Flair goes to work on Bulldog Brown. Flair pitches Brown through the ropes and out of the ring. Flair backs up. Oh, and he almost backed right into the Bruiser. They square off, and the Bruiser steps inside the ring. The Bruiser stepping inside the ring. Lee Warren trying to keep the two apart. And Flair really baiting the Bruiser a little bit right there. Look at him strut. And then he goes after the Bruiser when the Bruiser turns his back, lands a couple of punches, and the Bruiser says, I've had about all of you I'm going to take. Both referees, Lee Warren and Eddie Smith, trying to keep the two apart. Look at Flair bait the Bruiser, daring him.
10 minutes have expired, 10 minutes left.
Flair again going over to yell at the Bruiser. The Bruiser, though, going outside to help his partner, Bulldog Brown, who really took his lumps at the hands of Jerry Brown, while both referees were trying to keep Flair and the Bruiser separated. Flair, of course, has been tagged into the ring. He's the legal entrant in there. Bulldog Brown rolls back in, but he's in some trouble right now. Flair, the Bulldog fights back, but Flair hangs right in there. He's tough. Don't underestimate that man. Brown comes off the ropes and catches an elbow underneath the chin from the world champion. Flair cries out in glee and triumph as he lands the elbow to the chest. Here comes the Bruiser. And Flair retreats, breaking up a potential. Now Flair daring the Bruiser. Look at Flair. He's playing that little psychological game. He waits till the referees are between him and then says, come on, Bruiser, come on. Like some of the hockey players, when they don't really want to fight, they wait till the linesman is in between. Flair waiting till the referees there and say, come on, Bruiser, baiting him, wanting him to prime that volcano, waiting for the explosion and maybe looking to take advantage of it. Flair drives a knee into the head of Bulldog Brown. Tag made to Jerry Brown. Come on, old-timer, says Flair to the Bruiser. Oh, that Flair, he is cocky, arrogant. Boy, you talk about arrogance. Hits right there on Ric Flair. Jerry Brown. Oh, he clotheslines Bulldog Brown, riding him down to the mat. Here comes the Bruiser to help, but his help is not needed, at least not then. Jerry Brown with a backbreaker on Bulldog. He covers Bulldog again. The Bruiser was there, had his assistance been required. Flair yells something at Brown. Flair's knees up, and Jerry Brown throws Bulldog Brown into Flair's upraised knee. Flying mare by Jerry Brown. Oh, he must be taking lessons from Flair with that yell. And he drives the knee into the chest of Bulldog Brown. Count of one, count of two. Brown hanging in there. Boy, hey, Bulldog taking some lumps in this match. He's been pounded on. The Bruiser really has had trouble getting in. The referee's not allowing the tag that was made to Flair I guess they didn't see it. I think it was a legal tag from Jerry Brown. Bulldog calling for a little help from the Bruiser. Jerry Brown again bangs the knee home. Bulldog Brown really sinking into trouble. The Bruiser yelling at Bulldog, come to me, come to me, come to me. Tag made. Here comes Flair. That time the referee saw it. Flair cuts Brown off before he can get to the Bruiser. Down goes Brown. Compliments of the world champion. The Bruiser yells something at Bulldog. Flair sets Brown up and then comes out of the corner with about 3 quick steps to build a little momentum and get something extra to that kick to the solar plexus. Flair flips Brown high over the top. And Bulldog Brown is covered by Flair. This could be it. Count of 2. The Bruiser's there. Flair glares at the Bruiser. He thought he had a victory right there. Jerry Brown from outside the ring with a forearm smash to the Bulldog. Brown lands a punch to the stomach. Brown gouges the eyes of Flair. Flair kicking back. Flair and Brown. Bulldog fighting in desperation against the world champion. Bulldog tosses Flair into the corner. Flair tried to slip away. Brown slamming the head of Flair into that top turnbuckle, but Flair, the world champion, battles back. Oh, what a chop that was. Brown and Flair. Brown knocked down by Flair. Tag made to the Bruiser. The Bruiser puts Flair down. Jerry Brown calling up on the second rope, coming up behind the Bruiser with an elbow into the back. Flair and the Bruiser both go down. Flair sees the Bruiser down. He grabs that leg. Oh, where's he going with that leg? Takes him across the bottom rope and drives his full body weight into the knee of Dick the Bruiser. Flair grabbing the Bruiser's leg. Oh, remember when he did this to Pat O'Connor? He kicks Flair. Has given Ric Flair a pile driver on the concrete floor and split Flair's head wide open. The Bruiser back into the ring. The count's 18, 19. They're calling for the bell. And I think Flair, who's unconscious, out here on the